Hi, this is Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis. It is June 12th, I believe, and you guys haven't seen me for a couple of weeks. So I got to go on a 10-day vacation to visit my sister-in-law in Big Sky, Montana. And, we just had a really great time. There's still snow on the ground in sort of the higher elevations, and you can easily go visit those with a quick hike. There's animals everywhere. All the spring flowers are in bloom, and it's just such an amazing place. And we had such a great time. So not sorry for not posting any videos, but gotta go on vacation sometimes. And but while I was there, I was able to sort of geek out and do some plant flower hunting, some spring bloom hunting, because spring has just sprung there. Unlike here in Texas, where it's been spring basically since we thawed out after the big freeze in February. I got my tomatoes in the ground in early March. Up there, it just happened. So lots of spring flowers, and in fact, you're seeing some of these spring flowers right now. And I was seeing all these really cool flowers and on all these different hikes. And there was, I was really hoping to see an orchid. Like, that was my goal. If I saw a bunch of cool spring flowers in Montana, I was going to be happy. And I posted a bunch of my photos on iNaturalist of, maybe a few dozen different species of flowers that were just there on the trails or at my sister-in-law's house or whatever. On the last full day that we had there, I'd kind of given up on finding a native orchid. And my 6-year-old son and I and my sister-in-law's boyfriend had hiked to this abandoned crystal mine. Yes, somebody blew up a hole in the side of a mountain at the top of a very steep hill, and there was just quartz all over the ceilings and all over the floors. And so we were able to go in and poke around, and I got a few things to take home for my son. But on the way back down the hill, I had to pee, something you had to do. So I pulled off to the side of the trail, and in this little ephemeral drainage, I was having my bio break, and then I noticed I was surrounded by little tiny pink flowers. The little pink flowers were like this big, they're very tiny. And I leaned down and I realized that it was calypso. And not only one calypso, but I let my eyes adjust, because it was a very shaded area. Lots of trees and canopy overhead. The ground, like I said, it was an ephemeral drainage, so it receives water, but it dries off fairly quickly. When I say it receives water, anytime it's going to rain or there's going to be snow runoff, it'll be going down that drainage. But once the snow and or rain are gone, it dries out. So it's going to get more water probably than the surrounding areas, but it still gets dry. And sure enough, there was all these flowers, and I was super excited. Of course, no one else really cared, but such is the life of an orchid lover. And so anyway, you guys are seeing some of these photos here, and I know y'all are here to not necessarily hear about my vacations, but you're here to learn and chat about orchids. So I'm glad that I was able to start off with a bunch of flowers that are native to Montana, and then finish with an orchid. And then I also want to talk about my Cattleya purpurata, which is blooming right now. And of course, while I was setting up, the wind knocked this off the table and busted off a flower, but that's okay. This is Cattleya purpurata sanguinea. And sanguinea, of course, is a reference to blood, and you can see how dark, sort of blood red these flowers are. And in fact, I'll bring this a little closer to the camera in a moment, but this is one of the many imports that I've gotten over the years from Floralia. Some of you may recall the unboxing but not unboxing video I did of Floralia, and I said I'm not going to show you the unboxing, but I'll show you these flowers in a couple of years after they start blooming. Well, this is one of those that I purchased a couple of years ago, and I can show you you know, not only what a Floralia bred plant looks like, but a first bloom purpurata, what that can look like, and sort of the size of the plant that you can expect to get your first blooms on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera and bring up the plant a little closer so we can get sort of a close-up zoomed in version. All right, so this is the Laelia purpurata sanguinea. One of the nice things, I guess, about a busted off flower is that you can do things like this. And you can see how dark it is. And then of course, we can see the full plant right here. So there were two blooms, two spikes on two blooms, and it's not super fragrant right now, but when the sun is hitting this, you know, in the mornings especially, this smells like Fruit Loops. So if you like Fruit Loops, you'll love the scent of this. If you don't like Fruit Loops, maybe you won't. If you don't know what Fruit Loops smell like, but you know what Cattleya purpurata smells like, well, now you know what Fruit Loops smell like. So you can see first bloom, wonky petals. You know, this has probably been open for a week as well. So I came back from vacation, it was already open. So I'm not entirely sure if they open like this or if they'll look like this next year. But I'm really happy with the color, as you can see. Just beautiful, super dark. I don't know if you can actually see, I've got my Carnea blooming right over there. It is probably, you know, it got rained on a lot and there's mold all over the flowers, so I'm not really going to show you that. But just so you know, this is the sort of time of year when we get a lot of Cattleya purpuratas in bloom. So that was today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed a whirlwind tour of some flowers of Montana and this wonderful Cattleya purpurata, and I will see y'all later. Bye.